I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the Geezers on the Go.
Go, go, go.
Yep. In this episode, we're at Huntington Beach State Park near Morrell's Inlet in South Carolina. It has 173 campsites and 3 miles of Atlantic Ocean beach. Huntington Beach has 2 loops, the north and south, including 66 sites with full hookups. And it's a mecca for bird watchers, with more than 3,000 species sighted in the park.
We'll show you around the campground in a minute and take you out to the beautiful beaches here. And then we'll stroll through a Moorish-style castle called Atalaya, once the winter home to Archer and Anna Hyatt Huntington. We'll also visit Brook Green Gardens, which the Huntingtons transformed from a cotton plantation into a sculpture and botanical wonder. With its butterflies, fox squirrels, and other animals, it's also a bit of a wildlife preserve.
We're here at Huntington Beach State Park along the coast in South Carolina. It's just a few miles south of Myrtle Beach. We're in site 33, and as you're going to see, this is a very big site. I have all this room back here, and we're right by the beach access, which is right there, and I parked my bike over here so I can see it and not it be in the way. But as we walk around back here, we have beautiful big trees, lots of space, and big fire ring. And if you had kids, this would be a great spot because there's all kinds of space back here and this cool tree. I can just imagine kids climbing that tree. And just beyond the bushes and trees back there is the ocean, and at night when it gets quiet here you can hear it. Very beautiful spot. We're in the north loop. There's 2 loops here. Our loop has a mixed things of full hookups from water and electric. We just have water and electric, although there are some in the middle that have full hookups. The south loop has all full hookups, but doesn't have as many trees as here, so I like this end better. This is what it looks like when you enter the north end campground. You have sites on both sides. There are a few full hookups on the inner loop, and most of the outer loop are just water and electric. Put you back up to some pretty trees, and there's some beach accesses on this side of the road. You just walk up through the dunes and then up to the beach. Our loop, the north loop, has about 135 sites, and I think there's 150 total, so the rest are in the south loop. But it's nicely paved. The sites here are mostly gravelly and sandy, but not so have your broom in case you bring some sand and stuff. Here you'll see license plates from all over the place. We got California, New York, I've seen Virginia, Iowa, Maryland. There's also more full hookups over here. On the opposite side of this loop, there's also more campsites beyond that bathroom there, and they're very wooded over there. I think there's some tent sites there. And these are also nice along the trees. They have some full hookups here. You're a little bit farther walk to that beach access, but it'd be a very nice place to spend a couple of days. I mean, you're still easy walking distance to the beach, and there is a little teeny parking lot over there by the beach access. Now this site, wow, look at all the space you have over here. This is site 45. That's a nice spot, right against the trees. This little other edge of this loop here in the north campground, this is in the high 60s. These again only have water and electric, although there are some at the end which have full hookups. Yeah, this little area in here where the numbers are in the 70s look to be full hookups in this inner loop. And then at the end here we have a camp host. This part of the loop around the numbers that in the high 90s into 100s, these do have some full hookups. There's not a lot in this loop, but if you're able to snag one, they're located in the 90s over here. And they back up to the big grassy area. There also are some on this side for full hookups. And so talking about people from far away, there's somebody from South Dakota. As you go around the loop again, here's his sites 103 to 133. These are more wooded and into the trees. It's a little farther walk again to the beach, but if you like your seclusion, you got it back here with the trees. We'll take a little walk deeper into this area. We have here number 105, and look at what it backs up to, another New Yorker. Look at the trees and seclusion back there. And if you pan over to the other side, there's lots of trees too. Again, this is a nice 112. You got backs into the trees. And that one there goes way back. But I did notice that some of the ones on this side, even though you back up, it's all trees, there is a road beyond it, which should be much of a problem because it just goes out to the nature center and to the another beach area.
Well, this is a south campground. It's newer. It's mostly paved, and it has full hookups. The problem that I see with it, and probably some other folks do too, is that you're stacked up one right after the other, just like a big RV park. And it's not really what I consider state park type camping. But it does back right up to the ocean, just on the other side of that brush there. And there's lots of trails back there, so the ocean's fairly close here.
At our site here, number 33, it's kind of hard to see, it's on the box there. But it also tells you right here on the road. But we're right by the beach access. So I'm going to take a little walk and we'll see how far it is to walk down this path. See, it says right there, beach access. It's not a bad little road here. It's mostly gravel, but you feel like you're in the jungle. Some really cool looking trees back here on the way to the beach access. Looks like as we get closer here, there's a bridge. A wooden walkway. It's nice here. Once you get to the end of this little wooden walkway, they have those mats down. So, okay, we got to the end. Here's the beach, and it's only about less than a quarter of a mile from the campsite to the beach.
There are also some interesting marsh areas to view here. That is, when hurricanes don't destroy the walkways. As you can see, the boardwalk that goes out onto the marsh from the nature center here has seen better days. Looks like the last hurricane that came through kind of tore it up a bit. You used to be able to go way out there. And, but no more. At least not until they get in here and fix this. And I don't even know where that piece of boardwalk came from.
Okay, at the south, I guess, oh, it's actually the north end of the campground. You have to drive about a mile or so from the campground. There's another little beach area here, and there's also something that says the Observation Deck Nature Trail. Oh, this is very pretty. Okay, I just have to walk up these steps to another level to this observation deck. Oh, and I can see lots of duckies. And then beyond the dunes there is the ocean.
All right, well, Huntington Beach is one of the nicest places that we come.
Yeah.
The problem is it's probably not going to be worth the money that they're going to start charging for
Right.
it.
We probably won't be able to come again because it's gotten expensive. Right now we're paying $40 a night for water and electric, and that if you come to this time of year next year, it's going up to $80. And if you have full hookups, it's going to be $95. And
Yeah. I mean, I can stay in a hotel for that.
Right, but it is a beautiful place. We'll give them that. There's lots of trees. You're just steps from the ocean. So. Well,
and I think there's going to be enough people who don't care about the price. They'll come here anyway. I mean, you're right next to the ocean. You can hear the ocean from where we're sitting right now.
Right.
There's a lot to do around here. You're close to Myrtle Beach. You're close to Murrells Inlet.
And you're also close to Georgetown, which is a nice little harbor town to visit. But the Huntington family, they just did a lot for this area. They have a nice, beautiful house you can go visit here called, what is it again?
Adelia Castle. And they have the Brook Green Gardens. The Huntington family in the 1920s bought up this entire area from the ocean to back miles from the ocean. And it had been a rice plantation.
Right.
And they put a winter home by the ocean. That's Adelia Castle.
Right.
And then they started building Brook Green Gardens, which they turned into a sort of an outdoor museum.
Right. Well, Anna Hyatt, she was a renowned sculptor of her time. She was one of the few women sculptors. She was actually making, in the 1930s, $50,000 a year selling her
I wish I made $50,000 this year.
Today.
But anyway, and then Archer Huntington was a railroad tycoon, made so much money he just became a professional philanthropist.
Yeah, so, but if you go to the gardens, they have flowers and all kinds of sculptures. I mean, it's just a beautiful place. You can we went there 2 days and you didn't see half the stuff that was there.
Yeah, it's like Disneyland for grown-ups.
Right.
And we're going to take you out and we're going to show you the gardens, and we're going to show you the castle, and we hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Hey, we're here at Adelia Castle. This is the winter residence of the Huntington family that originally donated all of this land to the state park system. And we're going to go around and have a look inside. This is the entrance that you come in when you first walk into the castle. Just a little walkway that goes down the middle of the gardens. The castle was built in the Moorish style over a 2-year period in the 1930s. The word Adelia means watchtower in Spanish, and apparently it was built without any blueprints. It included an office for Archer Huntington, and both indoor and outdoor studios for Anna Hyatt Huntington's sculpting. This is the foyer of the house, where you get to after you walk through that long walkway. There's a nice fireplace there to warm things up.
And it's a National Historic Landmark, it says.
You can tell there's been a little settling, going on over the years.
If you go up a little higher, if you can see the wooden pieces there, they said they used to hang pretty tapestries on the walls up there on those pieces of wood.
Probably to cover that big crack in it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is the breakfast area. This house is laid out in a big oblong box with the gardens in the center, so all of the rooms are around the periphery of it. Now, this is the kitchen and the cook's quarters, and where the food was all prepared. And this was Anna Huntington's indoor studio. There she had a nice big skylight up above so she could work indoors and still get natural light. This was Archer Huntington's study. Nice big room with a fireplace, some bookshelves, and then this goes down the hall and down the stairs and back to where we started in the main foyer.
This is the Huntington's two old men working room.
Oh, I see. Well, they do the best work.
We're being videoed?
Yeah. You don't mind, do you?
Do I have to sign anything to
Well,
release?
you know, I have to sign. I'll have to have my agent call you, and
I tell you what, I'll have my girl call your girl.
there you go.
Well, we've been threatening for years to come to the Brook Green Gardens just outside Huntington Beach State Park. It was land donated by the Huntington family, who are big into the arts and gardens, and so we're just going to start our tour. This statue out here is called Youth Taming the Wild. It's a guy with a big horse.
Kind of cool sculptures here with bottles on sticks and all different colors and shapes and sizes. This is a limestone sculpture of Samson and the Lion. And here we have a little fountain, and in the center is a sculpture of Diana, a Roman goddess that apparently sparked a little controversy back in the day when she was placed atop the roof of Madison Square Garden in New York in all of her glory. And this is called the Fountain of the Muses. It's a granite sculpture of Pegasus, which is the largest sculpture on the grounds. They say it took 9 years to finish this sculpture.
Somebody named Laura Garden Fraser. She made it between 1946 to 1954.
And that's Jill sitting there. It'll give a little perspective on how big this statue is.
Okay, here's Diana again. There's a few of her in this Brook Green Gardens.
And here we have, for the umpteenth time, Diana, god of the hunt, or goddess of the hunt. She's quite popular here. I wonder why.
This is another section of the Brook Green Gardens and Sculptures. This is at there's two loops. This one has the low country area, and also there's a zoo down here, which we'll check out later. But as the rest of this park is, beautiful trees, and you can't go very far without seeing some kind of sculpture here. That might be a Remington. Very big guy just going on his horse.
You might ask what a representation of an American bison is doing here in coastal South Carolina. Well, it turns out that during the last ice age, there were bison here, and the Indians, the local Native American population, hunted them for food along with other things like deer and elk. But once the ice melted and the shoreline receded, the buffalo disappeared from this area. We're going to take a little walk through the Low Country Zoo right now. No idea what to expect, but we're going to find out. I've been told by reliable sources that we're going to meet the animals here. And that, my friends, is a cow. I guess they have them in South Carolina. Oh, there's another one. That one has horns. You can tell by the horns.
We did see some interesting waterfowl. And then there was this strange little guy roaming around free. I just found the sign for that little animal I saw, and it says he's a southern fox squirrel. Huh. Never saw one before.
Well, don't that beat all? Anyway, the sun finally rose on the day we had to leave Huntington Beach. We had a blast, and we hope you did too. And as always, we'll see you down the road.
Stop, stop, stop!